When teaching someone how to squat, it's often good to teach from the bottom up, from the bottom position up. Some people, however, have such limited range of motion due to either tight hips, pain in the knees, arthritic knees, whatever, that they find that hard to do. A chair squat or a box squat, so assuming that this was like a plyo box that I'm sitting on, is a great way to be able to get people to cue into what it feels like to go down until your legs are about parallel to the ground in a squat without risking falling over, okay? Because that's the big fear when people go down that low and they don't have a lot of flexibility, is they can't bend over enough while maintaining a neutral spine and stay on their heels and do everything that's needed to be done in order to execute a squat properly and still get to parallel. So a box squat or a chair squat is a great compromise, and it's a motion that we use every day, getting in and out of a chair, right? So let's talk first about what a squat is. I have other videos on squats, but I'll just go over the form with you. Let me just move the chair out of the way. Okay, we're going to use the same form, but we're going to do it in a chair. My feet are shoulder width apart, my toes are 10 to 15 degrees out. My core is tight. That means that if someone were to try and punch me in the stomach, if I knew that a punch was coming to my stomach, that's the tightening that I would do to protect myself. My back is straight, so I pull my shoulder blades together lightly, not a lot, just a little bit to make sure that I got a straight spine. And my head is straight up and down, even at the bottom of the squat. I'm looking at the ground, not at the wall in front of me, okay? Another thing when we squat is we want to make sure that the hips and the knees are bending at the same time, straightening at the same time, that there's a synergy there. I don't want to be bending at the waist first and then down at the knees and then maybe straightening at the knees and then at the waist, okay? Or another one I see often is people will try and stay straight up and down, bend at the knees first and start bending at the waist. It all happens together, okay? So everything bends together, everything straightens together. You breathe in, out, in, out. Nice tight core, stay on my heels. I breathe in as I go down, out as I come up. And what I want to do to activate my lower body is I want to think in terms of gripping the ground with my feet. So I'm literally right now, you can't see it, but I'm curling my toes into the ground. So I'm really gripping it. So I'm going to breathe tight, tight, tight. Okay? Lifting is about tight and tension. So, chair. There's two ways of doing it. If I have a pretty good range of motion, I can start from standing, okay? And then I can just, well, I want to look to see, yeah, the chair's there, good, all right. And I'm just going to come down until my butt taps the chair. The ideal is until it taps the chair, and then I'm going to stand up again. So I'm going to, tapped, back up, good. Everything else is the same. Breathing in, tap, and up. Good, in, up. Now, if someone can do that and has pretty good control, that means you can probably start adding a load like dumbbells or a barbell, whatever. If you're working out at home, you don't have access to those things, you can hold on to a case of water or a box of books or something in front of you. But most people actually don't at first, or many, I shouldn't say most, don't have the ability to get back up so easily. So what you want to do is just slowly come down until you're sitting, sit back, get comfortable, lean forward, and then try to stay on your heels, grip the ground again, and then try to stand up, okay? That's the idea. In, if you have to fall back, that's fine, okay? And I'm gonna try to stand up. If that doesn't work, then maybe put a platform that elevates it a little bit higher, okay? So you're gonna then, until you're able to do 10 or 12 repetitions at the higher level, right? Then you take that out and then you'd use the chair only. You know, I mean, whatever you can use. I've got this first aid kit, for example, so I could use that, right? And then now I have a shallower range of motion. Great, you know, I get used to this. I can do 10 to 12 reps. Okay, it's time to move that out. Or find something about half as thick until I can finally do the chair. And you can see what we're doing is we're progressing to getting you low enough that your thighs are parallel to the ground that you can do an actual squat. That's how to train a squat, but you can also, if you already have a strong squat, like I said, you can use a chair or a lower platform, and even something really low if you're very strong, like this, like an ottoman, to some weight, right? And now you're going to squat really low and up. Right? So it's a cue. It lets you know that you're going down really low, because we often tend to cheat in our depth when we're lifting heavier and heavier, right? So it's a way of gauging, you know, if I use 5 more pounds this week than I did last week and I'm able to do the same number of repetitions touching that ottoman, I've gotten stronger. So there it is. That's a chair or a box squat.